I don't think it gets any more creepier or freakier than that. Right now, I'm sure this has happened in the past, but and of course, everything is brought up to scrutiny to the point to where people just don't want to hear it anymore, whether it's true or not. That's totally been taken advantage of. I mean, the stuff that's going on, and people will say, "Oh, that's politics," or "That's so typical." Dude, it's always when they know you're going to let your guard down that they pull these sneakies on you guys. So you got to, it's the time when you break that pattern that they have set for you, or that they try to condition you to, or know you're conditioned to. And when I say they, whatever, the universe, I mean, man doesn't control the tides. So maybe it's just, tides of, people are very interested in this, or not interested in that, or certain cultures or races are into this or into that. I mean, my God, in the last 72 hours, it turns out that our Pompeo, Secretary of State, has been caught lying about the attack on a tanker, an oil tanker. Lying, straight up lying. They fabricated a video. But they didn't fabricate the video. They flipped the video, which shows Iranians saving a Japanese crew. The Japanese have come out and literally said the Americans are lying. And none of that is made our media. I mean, this is the WMDs, but busted, and they don't even cover the story. But you can find it. You can find it if you look for it. Maybe, right? They're regulating the internet now because of the Russian hack, right? So I told you, the wall isn't to keep out people; it's to keep us locked in. Germany is trying to figure out a way how to handle paying Iran the money we owe them. I've told you guys about this months ago. That Iran is not a threat. Iran was going along with every part of the contract that was signed by 10 major superpowers. Only the U.S. and Trump tore it up against the suggestions of our military leaders. That's why Mattis got fired or quit, I think. The other two were gone. Everyone's been replaced. He just fires anyone, or him and his, whoever's in charge of that guy. But you think that the Democrats are making fun of Trump on TV. Dude, you don't even know they're not even reporting the story. They're not even reporting the shit that he's been busted in. At Puerto Rico, saying that we gave Puerto Rico $91 billion, he said that repeatedly. Total lie. I mean, Katrina times 10, because people are dying months after the hurricane, and then he's not just not going to give them money. He's coming out and telling people, I've given them enough money. They should like love me. That's exactly what he said. They should love me. When you see, $91 billion. It was $91 billion I gave them. No one can figure out where he came up with that money. It's an impossible statistic. Not to mention, it's been like 2 years since the hurricane, and it is part of the United States, right? Or is it not important? Because California is part of the United States too. You guys don't give a fuck about us, right? He said the same shit during the fires. Yet you're totally wrong. I mean, we dismiss it as Trump, but you got to keep something in mind here. This isn't that big of a surprise. A big surprise is, how did he win the election? Well, they said the Russians hacked us. What do you mean? Well, they got into Facebook and they put out propaganda. Okay, the Russians put out propaganda that's better than the Republicans or Democratic people who have outside money all the time, millions of dollars, finance them and just talking shit. Whether it's Monica Lewinsky or whatever it may be. Whether it's fucking, Benghazi, I don't care. You're trying to tell me Russia came up with a better diss on Hillary than the Republicans can? Or that the Republicans came up with a better diss and vice versa? I mean, come on. We are the ultimate kings of lies when it comes to that. Our politicians are the best. Oh, no, now they're going to regulate you offline so you can't even figure this out, and they're not even going to report the stories. They pretend like they're dissing Trump. No wonder Trump seems like he's nuts. Why? He's totally misinformed. They've got everyone compartmentalized. Probably me as well. And I don't think I'm the only one that knows that. But I do think most people are, they're being occupied. They're either locked up in their house, they gave you a husband, or they gave you a kid, some new toy to play with, so that you do not pay attention to what's going down. I mean, I'm watching the news right now, and the guy says, and he's a Democratic guy, he's on MSNBC, my dad's watching it. He's like, in the polls and Trump and this, he's dissing Trump, making up all this shit. It's funny, they diss Trump, but they make up lies. They do make up lies. They don't tell you the truth about what Trump's mistakes are. They don't. They don't make a big deal about it. It's the Russian hack thing, and then, the collusion. Okay, but he was found innocent. There was no Russian collusion. They haven't even shown us evidence of the Russian hack. But we all believe that, right? So we're going off of that. So they don't even want to show us the evidence of any proof that Russia did it. We're just going to assume they did it, so we're going to go along. Then we're going to say, oh, obstruction of justice, so that you forget about the fact, wait a second, we haven't even proven there's been a fucking hack. What's so awesome about it, what really is awesome, is what? That's exactly what we fucking said they would do. They ain't got no proof. I mean, how can fucking people like me, out of the blue, call the intelligence agency of the United States out on knowing that they've already lied on something that grandiose? And sure enough, they can't come up with any evidence. They can't even fabricate it. I mean, it's like, the thing that's so frightening about it is, this is the whole globe we're talking about, is trying to figure out ways on how to help other countries to get around the American Trump. What we're not being told. I mean, it's a scenario of like, the girl is crying in bed, wondering where the boyfriend is. He doesn't love me. He doesn't call me. And the parents are not telling her, oh, he's been here. We just told him to fuck off. He's called 100 times. We just, turned the phones off. And the daughter's up in her room crying, he's an asshole. He doesn't love me. That's what's happening to us right now when it comes to world affairs. You guys are, you're not only being lied to, but this one is, it's deliberate. It's got to be deliberate. And even when you get to these other news sources, if you can get out on our search engines, you knew they were going to take control of that shit. They had to take control of it. So, remember, the conspiracy theorists, they got to shut us up. Why? Because basically everything we've been saying is coming to fruition on a very closer level. The military of the U.S. or whoever did it, they're not supposed to be able to declare war on American citizens, are they? Yeah, that's going to be a fine line to disprove, isn't it? Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It was domestic. It's all domestic. It's all domestic shit going on. Russia did it. Bullshit. And so what? We're on the World Wide Web, right? No, not anymore. Now we're on the only in your city. We're going to put a bubble around you. Oh, so the future was true. We live in little bubbles. See how they do you up? They do you up in the head. Shit, like Jerry Sandusky.